This is Matt Crane from MGMT Boston, and on this episode of The Lantern, we have Jeff Bussgang, the general partner and co-founder of Flybridge, the co-founder of Upromise, and the author of the Experimentation Machine, a really cool book on becoming a 10x founder, a 10x joiner, and a 10x person in the age of AI. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Matt. Great to be here.
Now, there's a lot that you've done in your career, and as we look at yourself today, how would you introduce yourself in terms of your portfolio responsibilities and what we should know about Jeff, the builder?
Yeah, other than being a sports fan of the Boston Red Sox, Celtics, Patriots, and everything in between, I'm just passionate about entrepreneurship.
Amazing. Now, as we sit here in the spring of 2025, you just put out this awesome new book, The Experimentation Machine. What should we know about how you're seeing the world of AI in your seat as an investor, as a professor, just as a sort of participant to this crazy new wave of innovation? What's happening in the market?
I had the privilege of being an entrepreneur in the Internet 1.0 web wave in the 90s. And what we're seeing now is way bigger and way more impactful.
Yeah.
And these platforms just keep getting better and better and better. And so the builders that are building on top of these platforms and the Flybridge portfolio across the Harvard ecosystem, they're just benefiting from this AI dividend every day, every week with these new releases and new capabilities.
Yeah. And as you think about the book, whether that's becoming a 10x founder, a 10x joiner, other members of the community that should understand what to take from these pages about the experimentation machine, what are some advice you would give them about how to make yourself better in this world of AI?
I would just say experiment, get in the arena, play with the tools, and just get out there. These tools, they're all changing dramatically. And so if you're frozen, analysis paralysis problem, you're never going to get in the game and learn how to use the tools. The tools are changing. All the tools that you use today are not going to be the tools you use 2 or 3 years from now. But you should just have this experimentation mindset and just start playing around with the tools. And I'll give you one example. I created a clone of myself using an AI tool called Delphi. And I trained it on my 3 books and 80 HBS case studies and 15 years of blog posts. And at first it was clunky and awkward and jerky. And now it's amazing. And my students have access to the best knowledge that I have, 7x24. I have students come in my classroom and say they talked to me at midnight the night before getting advice on their startups. And I was so helpful to them. And, it's just like this amazing new tool. All the video capabilities, all the image capabilities, just start playing with them.
Yeah. And what caused you to write this book? To actually spend the time to put pen to paper? What was that market moment based upon all you've seen in your career to date that said, this needs to be out into the world?
Writing a book about AI is a bad idea. It's immediately out of date as soon as it's published. But I also was seeing this combination of timeless methods with timely tools.
Sure.
The timeless methods of going from 0 to 1, finding product market fit, customer discovery, a sustainable, profitable business model. It's all the stuff I teach in the classroom and I preach in, with my portfolio companies at Flybridge. And seeing that in combination with the timely tools, I thought, that was something that was really a magical opportunity to try to bring those two themes together.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you're speaking to the city of Boston, the builders, funders, and people who work at these startups. How can they help you, first and foremost? And what should they know about becoming a 10x person that you can pass back to them?
Boston is a very special community. Every September, we get thousands of incredible young minds that come here, aspiring entrepreneurs. Unfortunately, every June, many of them leave. So what I would say is reach out to a young entrepreneur, collaborate, be open, be a mentor, and make sure they stay here. The best thing that we can do is make sure these incredible, young, talented people stay and build their businesses here in Boston.
Absolutely. This is Jeff, author of The Experimentation Machine, and so much more. Thank you so much for joining us in this episode of The Lantern.
Thanks for having me.